Time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. A strong Santa Ana wind event will lead to critical to extremely critical fire weather conditions over portions of Southern California. Rafael has strengthened into a hurricane and is expected to enter the Gulf of Mexico by Thursday. Tropical storm watches have been issued for parts of the Florida Keys. It's too soon to determine any northern Gulf Coast impacts. Closer to home, the roller coaster of temperatures over the next 5 days continues with warmer weather today before a significant cold front tomorrow. Temperatures are going to drop 10 to 20 degrees below normal through Friday. The area mountains are going to see some snowfall and a good chance of rain in the lowlands. Starting on Saturday, temperatures will warm back up to near average. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. Containment of the Blue Front fire near Ruidoso is now 75% contained, thanks to recent rain and snow. The Forest Service first detected the fire on October 28th in an area 9 miles northwest of Ruidoso near the Blue 2 and South Fork burn scars. 4 days later, it grew to 323 acres, but has not grown since. The village of Tularosa is having a special meeting on Thursday at 6 p.m. The meeting agenda can be viewed on villageoftularosa.com. It has to do with what was discussed yesterday right here on Alamogordo Town News. Debbie Cooksey, the Tularosa mayor, is wanting to give the residents an update on the village's water situation regarding the project done by the Tularosa Community Ditch Corporation.
Our water system is compromised right now, greatly compromised. Our fence that the EPA made us put up, we had to put up to keep our water intake safe so that nothing would get into it, meaning somebody that wants to throw chemicals in it or any other kind of poison that could go through to our system. That's why the fence was put up, has been taken down. We have been locked out of our own intake water system by the Tularosa Ditch Corporation.
This is a discussion only. A road closure on East 9th between White Sands and Delaware is effective through Friday, November 8th. General Hydronics Utilities will be conducting traffic control at the intersection of 10th and New York throughout the week. As the main water line is being replaced, the sewer pipe bursting will begin on the west alley of the 900 block. Traffic flaggers will be present at the intersection to direct traffic in the area. A water line replacement and road repaving is scheduled to begin on Monday, November 18th on Oregon between Indian Wells and 10th, be advised. The Veterans Day ceremony takes place at Veterans Memorial Park in Tularosa. That's happening on Monday, November 11th at 11 a.m. That's 701 South Bookout Road and Highway 70 in Tularosa. The Alamogordo Music Theater presents A Christmas Carol, the musical, taking place on November 29th, 30th, December 6th, and 7th at 7 p.m., December 1st at 2 at the Flickinger Center. All seats are $12. AlamogordoMusicTheater.org for details. A composting event is taking place, and With Many Hands Alamogordo wants you to attend. We heard from Greg Gutierrez.
Have you ever wanted to learn composting basics? You want to know what it takes to build a compost pile in your garden? What all can go in your compost pile? How about you want to get involved in food waste mitigation? Are you curious about the effort that it takes to create a compost in less than a year? Well, come on down and attend the With Many Hands Community Compost Turn on November 9th. That's this coming Saturday. And we will be there at the garden on Puerto Rico Avenue. It's right behind Grace Methodist Church in Alamogordo. We'll be there at 3:30 p.m.
For more information, check out With Many Hands Alamogordo or With Many Hands Tularosa on Facebook. News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Local news from local perspectives, from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Local sports, local events, and local happenings and more. Nonprofit owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
Let's talk about the election. Vice President Kamala Harris easily won the state of New Mexico. However, she did lose both the popular and electoral votes, meaning Donald Trump is once again the president-elect. Martin Heinrich defeated Nella Domenici for the Senate seat, and Gabriel Vasquez defeated Yvette Harrell for the House seat. State House District 51, John Block over Ashley Myers. Sarah Silva looks to be ahead of Elizabeth Winterode, but not yet declared as of news deadline. 9 people were arrested this week in connection with a suspected drug trafficking operation at a federal prison in the small New Mexico town of Milan. The arrests were made on Wednesday as the FBI and U.S. Marshals Service raided 13 homes across the northwestern part of the state, mostly around Albuquerque. Authorities confiscated 15 firearms, ammunition, fentanyl, methamphetamine, and thousands of dollars during these searches. Authorities in a news release announced the arrest, describing it as a drug-dealing operation as a significant drug trafficking network that extended beyond the walls of the minimum security prison to include inmate spouses, family members, and associates. Santa Ana County administrative offices are going to be closed on Monday, November 11th in observance of Veterans Day. The county states they want to extend their deep gratitude to the veterans of all military branches who answered the call to duty and served our country honorably, as well as the families who support them. Emergency services and law enforcement will not be affected. County offices will resume regular business hours on Tuesday, November 12th. State police have destroyed tens of thousands of pounds of marijuana plants at greenhouses in northwestern New Mexico, marking what regulators say is the largest seizure and destruction of cannabis in New Mexico since new possession and cultivation laws took effect in 2021. Authorities announced the operation on Monday, stating dozens of agents were assigned to eradicate the plants in October. The State Cannabis Control Division had started the process of revoking the license of NNK Equity, having filed a noncompliance order and a default order earlier this year. The company was accused of not posting its licenses on site, failing to obtain water rights for cultivation, not having cameras that could monitor certain areas of the operation, and violating both sanitation and health requirements. Jacob Candelaria, an Albuquerque attorney who represents NNK Equity, disputes the state's claims and accused regulators and state police of violating his client's civil rights. He said the state failed to properly serve notice of its intent to revoke the company's license and subsequently denied a request for a hearing on the merits of the case. He said clients Irving Lin and Bao Zhu speak Mandarin Chinese and have limited ability to understand the written English language. Lin requested a Chinese translation, but the attorney said regulators did not respond to his request. The Cannabis Control Division stated in filings related to the case that it complied with notice and hearing requirements and had afforded the company its due process rights. The company plans to ask a state district judge to set aside the order revoking the license and to order state regulators to hold a hearing. Candelaria added that NNK Equity also plans to sue the state for destroying what it said to amounts to hundreds of thousands of dollars of private property. According to state regulators, NNK Equity was issued a license in December of 2023 for marijuana growing at a property in Waterflow that's on the edge of the Navajo Nation just south of the Colorado border. The region also made headlines earlier this year when state regulators cracked down on 2 other operations, and Navajo Nation authorities ended up filing their own charges against the 2 tribal members. In the latest case, the Cannabis Control Division conducted a compliance check in June and determined that NNK Equity had exceeded its allotted plant count. The New Mexico State Police Special Investigations Unit was brought in and later found the plants at a second location which was not licensed. The violations outlined by the state regulators also involve transportation and tracking requirements, which include assigning identifying numbers to each plant. 8 years running in New Mexico, Sky, an aerospace and research company, is preparing to utilize its technology to provide better insights from nearly 60,000 feet in the air. Michael Vestergaard Franson, the CEO and founder of Sky, spoke with KRQE.
The overall mission for Sky is to take that vast, untapped area between drones and satellites, and which is generally known as the stratosphere, and turn that into a force for good.
The company launches 4 different flights a year for their HAPS blimps. The most recent flight tested the blimp's abilities to fly day and night thanks to solar-powered batteries in the stratosphere. Next year, the main focus of the test flights will be to test the endurance of the blimps to see how long they can remain operational in the stratosphere. Sports and weather are coming up next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
There are 8 matches for New Mexico volleyball today, including Corona Vaughn at Hondo. Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for mostly sunny skies with a 20% chance for rain. Less than 1/10 of an inch is expected. Cloudy skies tonight with a 40% chance of showers. Less than 1/10 of an inch of rain expected. Tomorrow mostly cloudy and significantly colder. There's an 80% chance of showers. New rainfall amounts between 1/4 to 1/2 inch expected. Your high today in the basin 63, low tonight of 40, high tomorrow 48 degrees. In Cloudcroft, partly sunny skies with a 20% chance for snow. Accumulations expected to be less than 1/2 inch. Winds will be gusting as high as 31 miles per hour. Cloudy skies tonight with a 60% chance of more snow. Accumulation of around 2 inches are expected. Winds could gust as high as 18 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy skies tomorrow with an 80% chance of snow. Accumulation of 4 inches expected. Winds will be gusting up to 18 miles per hour. High today for Cloudcroft 43. Wind chill will make it feel as low as 18. Low tonight of 22. Wind chill is going to make it feel like it's 12. High tomorrow 30. Wind chill is going to make it feel like it's 13 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. Well, that concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.